You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
None of us truly know what the future may hold. The galaxy is a dangerous place, and getting more dangerous by the minute. The Empire may keep the peace in the core worlds, but from the mid-rim and beyond, there's no guarantee of safety. Bounty hunters, criminal syndicates, swoop bike gangs, thugs, thieves and scoundrels, old men in robes with ancient weapons, and more stranger threats. How much is your peace of mind worth? How much to know that, should something happen, you and the ones you love will be looked after? Gargamek Life Insurance is here for you. Backed by several major financial institutions, including the Bothawui Guilders Consortium, the Ando Credit Happy Society, and the First Bank of Eriadu, Gargamek Life Insurance offers competitive rates and specializes in the Outer Rim. Gargamek Life Insurance. We care because you care.
Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 30 of the Coldfire Chronicles and the showdown we have all been waiting for. My name is Adam and I am your GM, and I am joined around the table by...
Hi, I'm Mim. I play Lassa. She is a human sentinel artisan. Her emotional strength is her curiosity, but her weakness is obsession and not wanting to die.
Hi, I'm Ross. I play Agatha, a Morailan warrior aggressor colossus whose emotional strength is his pride and his weakness is his obsession.
Hi, I'm Mikey. I play Jaren. He's a Chiss mystic advisor. His emotional strength is his enthusiasm, but his emotional weakness is his recklessness.
Hi, my name is Ed Fortune. I play the character of Baren. He is a human hunter, Ataru striker seeker. His emotional strength is justice, and his emotional weakness is alienation.
In the centre of the meditation chamber stands 10th Brother. Roughly humanoid, pushing 7 feet tall, swathed in shadows and darkness that boil off him like smoke, making it hard to see exactly his dimensions. His face covered by an ivory half mask, a mask you have seen in a vision. And in the centre of that forehead burns with a pale blue fire an ancient numeral 10. His right hand is stretched out by his side, a burning red blade held in that, and you can see the shaft of that weapon, much longer than a normal lightsaber hilt, extending past his elbow, along his arm, and sticking out over his left shoulder, almost like a spear of some form. His left hand is empty, fingers spread. The room is larger than you recall. You cannot see the walls, and is read by a guttering, sickly red light coming from nowhere in particular, throwing shadows and moving images all over, making it hard to focus and constantly making some things appear in your peripheral vision, just enough to keep you on edge. There are strange outcroppings of shadow and bone and rock scattered around this place. The air is dry and warm, a sickly, uncomfortable warmth, the warmth of meat. I want from all of you a 3-dice fear test.
Ooh.
That is a discipline check.
I have no discipline. This is not going to go well.
For Agatha, that is a failure and 2 threat.
For Jiren, that is 2 failure, 1 disadvantage, and a triumph.
Ooh.
So failure with a triumph.
Okay, I didn't do as badly as I expected. It's a wash for failures and successes, so it's, I guess, a failure. 1 threat. That's what I've got, 1 threat.
3 failure, 3 advantage.
So, those 4 threat are going straight into the second sadness clock.
There's another sadness clock.
There's always a sadness clock.
Those advantage can be spent on strain or similar. Mikey, what do you want to do with your triumph?
I don't know, because I didn't succeed, so I can't actually have it help me with this. So I really don't know what I might be able to use it for. Can there be something useful on the armour that I just put on that might be of use, like more grenades or something like that?
His pistols, maybe some stim packs in a back pouch.
Yeah, I think Jiren obviously steps back a little bit in fear, putting his hands to his side, and as he puts his hand to his side, he notices that there's a stim dispenser. You know, there's the stormtroopery type belts they have, and there might be one left in there that probably has been forgotten about.
I'll say there's 2 stim packs in there. All of you have failed your fear test. That means that until the end of this encounter, or until you do something about it, you will be at a setback dice to every roll because of the waves of fear coming off 10th Brother. The dark side is so strong here. You can feel it like a slime on your skin almost, like in the air that you're breathing. Your nostrils are filled with a smell, very faint, of rotting flesh, and it's just pushing you back and down, trying to stamp out that little spark of hope and defiance in you. 10th Brother nods once. His left hand clenches into a fist. And I think I would like initiatives, please. I suppose it needs to be a cool test because you knew that something was coming on here, but I will hear an argument for vigilance if you can make it compelling.
I'm happy with cool, but we have to add that setback to it, don't we?
You do. There's no other difficulty, there's just the setback.
So my argument for vigilance is I've been playing through this moment for some time. Like, I've got a list of what happens.
Yeah, I'll allow it from you, Ed.
I've got 1 flat success.
I've got a triumph and an advantage.
I also have a triumph, but I have 2 successes and 1 advantage as well.
Okay, that beats me, but still, I rolled a triumph. That always makes me happy.
So I get 2 success and 2 advantage, but I also get 2 white side force dice because I have 4C. So I'm on 2 advantage and 2 success for my initiative. So that's 3 success for my initiative. I will give Agatha and Lassa an additional pip on their initiative as well. And I will also give them a +2 defense on melee and ranged for this first round.
Yep, that works.
So essentially, when I walk into the room, through the force my brain's going through, it's doing the Sherlock Holmes thing, essentially, of he ducks, we dive, we dive, we duck, if you see what I mean. And at that point, I just like transmit this will happen, like they get a flash of what's happening next, if you see what I mean. But it's like literally like a playthrough of what has happened. Does that make sense? Like, it'd look really cool cinematically, and they'd probably use a really expensive camera to make it work.
Well, yeah, sure. Why reduce the special effects at this point? This is where we put the budget.
Yeah.
For the moment, because things might change depending on sadness clock ticks. The initiative is 2 players, 10th Brother, 2 players, 10th Brother. He is a nemesis, which means he gets an extra action at the end of initiative. There are 2 triumphs which have appeared as part of these rolls.
Yeah.
So the first 2 people to go get a bonus free maneuver as a result of those triumphs.
I don't necessarily want to go first, but I want to tell you the first thing I'm going to do is try and get rid of everybody's setbacks. So, no, this is more for the party, really, to consider whether they want me to do that first, or you want to try and hit him first.
I would prefer to remove the setbacks before I try and do something, but I realise that he's going to do something before we get a chance to do a number of things.
Yeah, that just means one person is going to be able to attack him, and that's it.
Well, it depends on whether Ed does battle meditation.
That was it. I was going to hit him this round, and then next round use battle meditation.
Right.
Okay. So it's up to you guys. You're the ones who are going to be hitting him.
How about Lassa, who is obviously a little too worked up about this, even with the calm stuff?
Yeah.
She always said she didn't want to give him a chance to monologue, so the first thing she could do is throw that grenade.
We're all going to try and hit him straight off.
Yep.
This is not like a unique to Lassa situation. We are going to hit him.
No, but because she's already pent up, would anyone mind if we did it first? Just because also, let's face it, I'm the weakest fight character, I think. Apart from you, Jiren, you and me are usually not the hand-to-hand combat people.
Yeah, do we want me and you to go first and then give him a go, or do we want to try and knock him down first a bit?
I don't know.
Shall we go Lassa, then a hitter?
Okay. I'll get rid of the setbacks later then.
Is it an action for you to take back the setback?
Yeah, it's a leadership test.
Jiren, you go first, get rid of the setback dice, and then I'll throw something.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, well, that's what we'll do then, Adam. We'll try and get rid of the setback dice by...
He will find it underwhelming, and then we will lull him into a false sense of security.
There is a step back, Adam, and Jiren says, and this is with the power of the Force as well, because he can put his Force dice into it. He says, he's playing with us. He's not 7 feet tall. You've all been inside his head. He's just a man. And then I'm going to try and push my calming influence out to people with a leadership test. And I imagine you've got at very least 3 dice on that one, because that's what we rolled against.
Yeah, it's 3 purple. I'm going to give you a boost, because you have had that shared experience. You do know that beneath all of the puppetry, there is just a person there. So I'm going to give you a boost on this roll.
Cool, thank you. So it's quite a meaty roll, which is a precursor to me rolling really bad. So 1 yellow, 2 greens, 2 force dice, 3 purple, and a boost. Okay, so it's a success, but it's not many successes. The rules are a little bit wavy about what you actually do with these things, and I imagine I need to get more successes for more people. I had a read and it wasn't really clear.
Yeah, so how I assume this works is like how a lot of these abilities work. 1 success is 1 person, then you spend advantage for more people.
Adam, remind me what fear leads to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend those 2 dark sides to turn that fear in him in, I don't know, Lassa, because he seems like an easy target, and maybe Agatha into anger, to remove their fear of him and to get them ready for the fight. So basically spending the dark side to get dark sides to get advantages, but giving it a taster of being a little bit, makes them angry.
That also fits with the whole theme of the entire campaign, because the thing that Jiren's really, really good at is knowing Lassa.
She can't accept her feelings. It's kind of sad.
You also have 2 manoeuvres. You have your normal manoeuvre and you have your free one for your triumph.
Okay.
If you want to scatter from the pack now and find somewhere to take cover behind, there are all these strange outcroppings of bone and shadow and rock.
That might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take cover, but I am going to split off to the side and make us a wider array of targets. I'm probably going to just move to short range from us and no closer to him.
Yep, that's fine. And for your second manoeuvre, is there anything particular you want to do with that?
Pull out my gun.
Yep, okay. Next player.
That would be me.
That would be you.
So, since you've managed to make me annoyed...
Well, I think you were already annoyed. I've just kind of pushed the fear away with it.
You know how I'm going to take this, though?
Uh-huh.
I was taking this seriously in the ship. I was saying how this is important and we all need to prepare for it. And then you come along and you're like, it's all right, everybody. And I'm like, it's not going to be all right. You know why it's not going to be all right? Because you didn't listen to me. And I was trying to prepare us. And so there's that slight rile of, I know you're saying the right thing, but why does nobody listen when I say the right thing? She's going to get quite worked up about it.
So, he's currently medium distance from you in the centre of this large room. Grenades have a range of short, so you're going to need to move in, but you do have 2 manoeuvres. So if you want to move in, yeet a grenade, then move back out away from the group.
That would be really smart, but would it be better for me to spend a manoeuvre to... Can you aim with grenades?
Yeah, of course you can give you a boost, but you're still going to need to move closer one way or another.
Yeah. I'm not going to be smart enough to move back, because, thank you, Jiren, Lassa's angry, which means she's probably not thinking completely sanely anymore. She's just very aware that we need to get this done, and we've got a vague plan. So she's going to step forward, Gonna ready get you. And spend that second manoeuvre to aim and throw.
It's a ranged light test.
Oh no.
It's 1 purple because he's at short range. However, he's adversary 3, so it's 2 red, and he has 1 ranged defense. So it's 2 red and a setback
Oh no.
against your ranged light.
Oh no. Too
Even if you miss, if you get 2 advantage, you can still trigger the frag grenade to go off.
Alright.
It will do its blast damage rather than its full damage because you catch him in the shrapnel. You have 3 light side points if you want to flip to upgrade.
I think I'm gonna have to because currently
No.
I'm. No.
We need to use them on good rolls. Sorry. You can use them if you like, Amy. But I don't think even with that light side point, it's going to help.
No, probably not. I've only got 2 green in this. I'm better at ranged heavy. So yeah, here we go then. Gonna ruddy have you. And she throws with all her might the grenade. What even is that? What even is that as a roll? What I've got is no success and no failures, but 1 threat. Just 1 threat.
Okay. You throw the grenade, and it's a frag grenade, I imagine. You throw the grenade
Yeah.
at 10th Brother.
That was the one he had most of, so I imagine that's the one he gave me.
But you are so keyed up that you're not a soldier, you're not a grenadier, and even though grenades are reasonably simple, this one that you threw, you didn't prime it. You know, one way or another, you just didn't prime it. And you hurl this grenade at 10th Brother, and as it comes in, he swings his right hand up and catches the grenade with the shaft of his force pike, hurling it back at you. He swings the pike back round, holding it in a 2-handed grip, and the grenade bounces off your chest, causing you to stagger back and inflicting 1 strain from the panic as this grenade hits you, to then suddenly be relieved that no, that little light isn't blinking, it isn't about to blow up on you, but just for a second that as, yeah, he just pitch hits it right back at
Now,
you.
come on, let's lass her. It can't be her fault. She definitely primed it. Force powers.
Force powers, yeah.
10th Brother hit it with his pike, turned the prime off, and landed it down by us.
If I had had any advantage to spend, it would have been on... It was so obviously not Lasser's fault, none of you would doubt it. But I can't hide that one.
You're not trying to convince us anymore. You're trying to convince yourself. Don't worry.
I can't hide that. I done messed up.
It is his turn.
Maybe he'll be too busy laughing to attack. Who knows?
And with a voice like falling tombstones, says,
Dirty little cowards, spawn of the Jedi. Your time has gone. We are a dead limb.
and he leaps forward, charging, spending 2 strain for 2 manoeuvres, at you, Ed.
Oh.
And he brings his lightsaber up and attempts to cut your rifle in half.
Okay. The rifle, and the last thing that's keeping him connected to anything connected to his family, that rifle.
That rifle.
Yeah.
That rifle that he's heard from Pyjack exactly how deadly you are with. He doesn't know, he might not know about the lightsaber, but he knows that you're a great shot, and he ain't no fool. Can I ask, do you have a melee defense?
I do. It is currently free because I haven't got my lightsaber ignited.
That is 5 successes, but 2 threat. I'm being a little bit creative with how the Sunder rules work because he's specifically going for the rifle rather than the U, which is probably for the best in the scheme of things. But those successes, he slices your rifle in half, just smashes it in twain, vents blaster gas. But you have got those threats to spend against him. What would you like to do with them?
So in Baron's head, the reason he didn't walk into the room shooting is because he saw briefly that the rifle was doomed, and had I expelled the shot, it wouldn't have been primed. The energy would have gone through, so the energy is still there. Essentially, the bolt is still waiting. So as it goes through, it explodes. I take it I can't get a free maneuver out of this.
You can.
Okay, I get a free maneuver out of it. So as it explodes, it just gives me enough time to reach for my blaster and pull it up towards his chin.
Yeah, that's fine. It is a player turn. I presume you want to follow that through, Ed?
Yes, please.
So you're going to shoot him in the face at short range, point blank range?
No, I'm going to turn the lightsaber on because it's that one. So there's literally, I pull it up, he sees the blaster shot, there's possibly a smirk on his face, and then I flick it and it transforms. So I don't get to use my big set of dice, I just get to use my lightsaber dice, which is also quite good.
So with his adversary
and
his defence, your difficulty is 2 red, a purple, and 3 setback, sorry. This close, Ed, he smells like a sick animal, like a rabid beast. You know that scent from the hunt. That is the smell that's coming off him, or it's the closest approximation that your brain can give you.
There's a smile, but it's not really a smile, I'm just trying not to retch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 1 threat and 2 success.
So it's damage 9, it goes through soak, he spends 2 strain to parry. You ignite your lightsaber right by him and he recoils back from the brightness. You swipe at him and you exchange blows for a second. Faster than the mortal eye can follow, the force and your precognition guiding you where to strike, and just pure muscle memory and skill, meaning that his pike is just in the right place, You do manage to get through his defences, but as it starts cutting through his torso, his blade appears in the way in a beautiful riposte. So your lightsaber blade does not sink in as deeply as you'd hoped. You have wounded him, but not to the level that you'd hoped for.
As my other manoeuvre, I've got the other blaster in hand. So on my offhand, so it's like twinned to one side, and I take a step back and just go, lay on then.
I think for your threat, rather than tick up a sadness clock, I'm going to give you a strain.
Yeah.
Just as a result of having to operate at that speed, that suddenly. This is your first lightsaber fight, and it's against an opponent that means it.
First one for real, yeah. But yeah, I'm still staying within, because I'm trying to keep him busy whilst everyone else kills him, essentially. So like my main goal, like the only reason I've got the other blaster out is as a distraction. I'm not going to be using it to attack. I'll be shooting at him, but it's cosmetic only. It looks really cool on camera, but it's not actually doing any damage.
Okay. Agatha.
I want to do 2 things. I want to throw one of the Glock grenades basically behind where 10th Brother is. I think it's safer than throwing a frag grenade behind where 10th Brother is in the hope that he's provided the cover for everybody else. But while I'm doing that, I also want to apply force pull and try and grab it on 10th Brother's lightsaber. So I want to try and pull the lightsaber out of his hands.
Those are both actions.
Okay.
So you can do one or the other.
There's also a grenade that's not been activated currently on the floor. Almost like a Chekhov's grenade.
Well, I've got grenades already in my hand, so I don't need to grab the one that's on the floor. We can save the Chekhov's grenade for when it counts. In that case, I'm just going to try and interfere with the fight. So I'm going to try and interfere with the weapon. I'm just going to try and pull the pike out of his hands. Or make it less wieldy for him. It'll be a controlled pull.
How I think this is going to work, Ross, is definitely needs to be an opposed test.
Okay.
Because it's force against force. How I think I'm going to do this in a bit of a peculiar fashion.
Yep.
You're both going to roll your discipline, including your force die, against a difficulty of 2. And whoever gets the most successes wins. Either you pull it from his hands or he keeps hold of it.
Okay. Right, okay, so my discipline is quite simply yellow and a green. I've got 2 force die, but I've also got 2 purple, and you're going to roll whatever his equivalent is.
I got 1 success, 2 advantage, and 3 dark side. I'm burning all 3 dark side to give me 4 success, 2 advantage.
I've got 2 dark side points, and that's it. So it doesn't seem even much point in using them.
No. You push your will out and try to grip hold of the lightsaber pike the 10th Brother's wielding in the fight against Beren. Even just to knock him off balance or to yank it out of his hands. But his will and his grip is just too strong for the moment. And in that battle, he manages to keep hold of it.
Yeah. He's not even unsettled that we're trying this kind of thing on him.
Not really, no.
No.
You do have a manoeuvre. What would you like to do with your manoeuvre?
I don't even want to get closer because he's got a lightsaber.
You're currently engaged, so you're currently effectively in melee range. Do you want to step back out to short range for the moment to reposition?
Out to short range at the moment, because this is not a fight to stay engaged with if you're not similarly armed.
And you're still holding grenades in your hands, aren't you? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 10th Brother's turn. The first thing he does is spend 2 strain to use the Force as my ally, to use move as a manoeuvre. And he reaches out with the Force, and he primes the grenades that you're holding in your hand. And then he lets go of the grip of his lightsaber in his left hand, and bats you away holding those grenades.
Great.
We're going to be picking up bits of Agatha all over the place. Oh, then again, if you still... Oh, no, you threw the gloop grenade. No, you didn't throw the gloop
No, I
grenade.
You didn't.
You didn't. So if that goes off, then maybe all the pieces will at least be stuck in one place.
So, you only take 3 damage before soak from the impact. But yeah, he reaches out his hand and waves it at you. And like a wave of shadow, like a tidal wave, boils up from the darkness, hits you and hurls you back, moving you to medium range and scattering you on the ground, holding these 2 grenades that are primed, and unless you do something very quickly at the start of your next turn, are going to detonate at the start of your next turn.
Okay.
Anyone else vote for Agatha going first next turn?
I vote for going first.
When you say the start of our next turn, do you mean when he goes next? Because could we leave him until the end and it wouldn't blow up until his go?
No, it's going to go off now.
All right, okay.
It's the trade-off for them not going off immediately in Agatha's hand while you're all gathered around. So it's back to top of initiative, and I would recommend that Agatha takes this slot.
Yes, I would recommend that I do this as well. And in fact, I'm not going to wait for one of you to object. I'm going to throw the grenades back.
That's not how it works, but yes, you can go first.
I was going to suggest we all went fishing for... No.
This might not be that moment. I mean, I'm all for surprise tactics against him at this point. Something he's not expecting.
I have a surprise tactic for you, Ross, as a suggestion. Punch him.
No, better be a hugger.
Yeah. Social distancing!
I mean, if I do hug him at this moment, my hands won't be left, but...
Punch him. Get rid of the grenades, and then next time, punch him.
Fair enough. I'll start with throwing the grenades.
The question I'm going to ask you is this one. You can either spend a manoeuvre just to throw them away from you and have them detonate just away from you, or you can use an action to throw them back at him. The downside being that he's engaged with Oberon. You would need to spend advantage to trigger the blast, so you can throw the frag grenade or glop grenade at him and not catch Oberon in it if you don't want to spend the advantage. But depending on what you roll, you know, we'll see how spicy things get. It's entirely up to you. If you throw them away, then you still got your action to do something.
I've not got a lot of time to... I'm going to keep hurling them at him.
It's been nice knowing you, Baron. It really has.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Normally I'm the first person to be like, Agatha, why aren't you working as a team? Why are you threatening us? But yeah, fair enough. He's a scary dude. I'd probably do it too.
When the chips come down, Agatha once again kills the party. So, what I'm going to ask you before we make any rolls, what grenades are you holding? What would have you been holding at the start of this fight? One of each, both frag. You only have 1 glop grenade left, so I don't know if that's the one that I know you didn't give that to Lasser. So would it be a glop and a frag, 2 frags?
I think it would have been one of each, because I think we were initially unsure as to whether we were going to simply try and stun him or not, depending on what happened when we actually arrived in the room. So this is going to go wrong.
I'm going to allow this to be 1 roll, rather than trying to do something clever and link them, basically, as you hurl them.
Okay.
You're at medium range, so I will let you use your manoeuvre to move into throwing distance. Or, if you prepare to risk the force roll, I'm quite happy to let you try to throw them using the force as a force move, rather than as a attack.
Can I use the force to guide... I mean, okay, I want to aim them at 10th Brother so that they do hit him, but can I use the force to guide that as well? Is that part of the manoeuvre sequence?
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide whether this is effectively using hurl to throw them, which means you can do it from as far away as you are, but it's discipline, or whether or not you're moving in to use ranged light, and I'll let you roll a force die, your force rating as part of it.
I think I want to stay at distance if I can for throwing a grenade. If I've been throwing back this far, my concentration is just getting them back at him.
That's fine. So it's a discipline check.
Okay.
He's at medium range, and he's adversary 3. So your difficulty is 2 red, a purple, and a setback. It's a discipline test. You roll your force dice as part of this, and you have 4 light side points in the tank if you want to flip a light side point.
I would like to flip a light side point. I've got 2 success, 2 threat, and 2 dark side points.
Well, you will need to spend those 2 points for the range.
Right, okay.
1 to make it work, and one to extend the range to medium.
Okay, then I'm going to have to do that. So that doesn't counter the threats or anything, that's just making it work at all.
That's just making it work at all.
Okay.
So that's 2 strain as part of that. What I think I'm going to do with the threats is that I am going to trigger blast, so it catches Oberon in the blast.
Okay.
The frag grenade is going to clip Oberon. That is the threat.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the frag grenade be the one that hits 10th Brother, or the glop grenade be the one that hits 10th Brother?
The glop grenade.
Okay. So Ed,
Yeah.
that is 6 damage before soak as the frag goes off.
Before soak, though.
Yeah, you get your soak as part of it.
Okay.
Because he's not hit you with the frag grenade, he's hit 10th Brother with the frag grenade. With both of the grenades, it's just that it explodes outwards. The glop grenade would also do some damage, but bluntly, his soak is sufficiently high enough. But he hasn't been ensnared, he's now stuck to the spot for the next 3 turns, which means he cannot currently use manoeuvres until he does something to break himself out of that. So, you have definitely impaired his combat abilities by sticking him to the spot.
Does Baron want to go next?
If you don't mind. So it catches me, and cosmetically it takes, the blast goggles I was wearing, so you can now just see my full face. The cutting part of my disguise is gone, so it looks cosmetically cool, but also I'm a little bit Wile E. Coyote. He's in glop.
He's in glop at the moment, yeah.
Okay, so Baron is fairly, and Oberon before him was a fairly calm and collected character, and always like very clinical. This is a mad frenzy. Okay, strap in.
Oh god.
Righto.
1 despair,
Oh.
1 success, 2 threat, 2 triumph.
Oh. What even is that roll?
Right. Let's resolve the good stuff first.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Let's resolve the good stuff first. How many success in total? 1 success?
Yeah.
8 damage through soak. He's going to parry that, so he's going to spend 3 strain. Okay, because that ties into what I'm doing with that despair. But we'll come to that in a moment. What would you like to do with your triumphs?
1 is a crit.
Yep. Would you like to double crit and add +10 to your crit roll, or would you like to do something else with that triumph?
I'd like to take off the porcelain mask.
Yeah.
It's a mad frenzy, and like he's parrying and parrying and parrying, and I just get like a kind of Death Solo style thing, and the mask flies off. Because I've just been unmasked as well, so we've got like kind of duelists.
Okay.
In the moment.
Okay. Should I roll the crit for you so we can see what that is?
Please.
Well, that works. Discouraging wound, so it flips a dark side point to light for you.
Well done, Ed.
No, that's not.
Oh.
No, because we've still got despair to come.
There we go.
And you've got 2 threat as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
The despair is being spent on improved parry.
Okay.
I'll tell you the mechanics, then we'll describe what it looks like. Parry means that he hits you back for 7 damage for each one.
Okay.
So it goes right through your soak.
Criff, that hurts.
And I am going to give you that as strain. I'm not going to have him recover strain at the moment. So, you engage in a flurry of lightsaber strikes against each other. Again, your precognition, meaning that you're swinging faster at where he's going to be, not where he is. His lightsaber is parrying yours as frantically as possible, again with decades of muscle memory and training inbuilt within him. His style is very aggressive, and even though he can't move his footing because of the Glock grenade around his legs, he's still dazzlingly good with this lightsaber. Your blade comes up across his face, clipping the mask, knocking the mask off and bouncing. He screams in anger, causing you to break your flow of attack just for a second as this wave of pain and hatred bursts out from him. And in that second, where your guard's down, he stabs you through with the lightsaber just above your left hip and pulls it out. The wound immediately cauterizing it, making you limp slightly. The mask skitters across the floor, completely unharmed by your blade glancing across it. You don't know what that's made from, but that shouldn't happen. You all blink, just for a second, and then suddenly you see him again. And he is no longer 7 feet tall. He's still wearing long black robes. He's still dripping with shadows and smoke. But that occluding veil around him has gone. And you see a Twi'lek, pale blue skin. His leku hanging down his back, either side of his hood.
I thought he cut them off.
Metaphorically, he certainly did.
Oh, interesting.
And as the scar on his face from Oberon's swipe pulses redly, that's where I'm ending the episode. Thank you very much to my players. Thank you very, very much to my listeners. I don't think we've got much longer to go, y'all, but we've at least got one more, and we will see you for that next time.
Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.